our first presentation, which is by Asif Peer, who's the CEO of Systems. Systems is the largest IT services company in Pakistan. It's also one of the oldest companies, established in 1976. We recently published a report on it. The stock has done really well this year. It's, I think, one of the best performing stocks on Pakistan Stock Exchange. Asif Peer and Systems also recently got, a couple of weeks ago, got featured in Forbes as one of the best companies under 1 billion market cap. So it's a matter of pride for people in Pakistan, for all of us. Before I pass on to Asif Peer, I would also, we at KSB are very happy that we hosted him for another event almost a year ago, and since then the stock has done really well. So with that, Asif Saab, you are on the call. I think I saw you. Can you?
Thank you, everyone. So thank you for arranging, Ali, this great event. We're excited to be part of it. And I know you said that. I think you guys have been a very gung-ho about technology industry and tech sector. You guys understood as you lived in UK, and you have seen such a phenomenal growth in technology industry. And of course, it was great to be part of that event, and of course today as well. So your report was, of course, very well thought and very well targeted towards what industry is all about. So what I will do is, as you said, I will take 20 to 30 minutes maximum for my presentation, and then you guys can ask any question about the industry, global, Pakistan, systems, or whatever you like. I think I'll be glad to respond from that perspective. So Systems Limited, whoever, of course, I'm sure most of you guys know whoever has joined the meeting, but I'll just give you the brief overview. As Ali said, that we have been doing business since 1977. We have 3,000 plus employees in Pakistan. With Systems, about 80 to 85% of our revenue comes from export, dollar-based, and we have about very well diversified clients. So it's not like revenue coming from one customer. Very well diversified portfolio of customers, very well diversified geographies, and our mission and vision is to definitely solve the customer problem, being a problem solver, provide customers operational efficiency through digital innovation, digital transformation, take customer to the next level from using their operational excellence, zero touch operations. This is all part of our forte, and this is what we have been doing. And what I'm excited to say that we are very relevant in the global industry. All the technologies that we work today is the technology of the future, right? And it doesn't mean that if you're working from Pakistan or working from anywhere else, we are very relevant, cutting edge technologies, cutting edge skill set. Our communication skills in Pakistan, is, you guys already know and familiar, it's very European and American centric, like all the Middle East even. So we have the workforce, the diverse workforce that can lead the phenomenal growth for the country and of course for the company as well. So as Ali mentioned as well, like Alhamdulillah, I would say God has been kind. With my teams and leadership and all the effort, we were the first IT company out of Pakistan recognized by Forbes. And as it was a process that even I didn't know it, right? So somebody sent me that information so that you were selected. So that kind of a surprise came to us. So it was a very, like when you even didn't apply for it, a very process where they have taken about many companies, about 100,000 or so, and then selected 18,000 companies, and then out of 18,000, this picked Systems out of Pakistan. So that has been a pride for the country, and I'm very humble and thankful to God and of course my team for doing this kind of success that international media has also recognized. And I truly believe that it will give us a lot of momentum and thirst for globally to win more, of course, and have a Pakistan name in the market. PSAB, We are the largest exporter of Pakistan from IT services perspective. We won this year the largest IT export service award. But to be honest, I would say that the numbers that what we show is not nowhere near where I would be happy, right? So we are very low in numbers, even though we are the largest exporter, but the potential and the opportunity size is so huge that any multiplier number you can put, I think it's just smaller in the global scheme of things. So I'm representing American Business Council as president, and of course my goal is to again nurture that platform and use that to make sure that Pakistani companies, and we have more and more trade opportunities with US and North America especially. I'm helping World Economic Forum initiative from skill development program perspective, the CPAC, and we are also very well connected with Microsoft. We are Partner of the Year from Country Partner of the Year as well. We have won from Pakistan. So I just want to spend like a couple of minutes to open up the horizon where industry is going. Please stop me if there is any question or in between as well, or if you guys can't hear me, I'm just speaking, assuming everything is clear. So global IT industry is growing exponentially, I think, and what COVID has done to the IT industry, it has changed the complexion of the game. It has accelerated further because, of course, now modern workplace, digital workplace, and digital automation is the foremost and topmost priority of everyone. E-commerce, digital transformation, because now we all are doing this virtual conferences. Otherwise, I would have been sitting in there somewhere, you know. So it has changed the complexion. So it's pushed all. And what happened? The world companies have changed their mindset. That outsourcing is not something that is unusual, because work from home in UK or US means you're working remote. So whether you are sitting in Pakistan, Bangladesh, wherever, it doesn't matter, right? So it changes the complexion, and whoever was not believing in outsourcing, now they believe in it. They have seen it works. So why pay more when you have an opportunity of countries like Pakistan and where the people are skillful, they can talk, they can communicate. We are ready to overlap the timings, you know, we are very flexible. So what is stopping us, right? So customer has, like, I've seen few customers change 360-degree position, right? They were saying all on-site, I need people in front of me. Now they're saying take all offshore, right? So the market size and opportunity has changed dramatically in this last, I would say, 9 months. It has been terrible from human-centric perspective and the life and all of these things. Of course, it's a very, very trouble thing, but this is the world has reshaped, and new normal has very different. And I think this will last. This is what I'm reading and I've been studying. It was not going to go back to like, it might go back a little bit, but it's not like 100% 360-degree change again, like, because people have realized the efficiencies and operational efficiencies. So now what world IT spending is increasing, it's not decreasing. People have a thought process that AI and machine learning and all of these robotics and will replace the jobs. It's not replacing the jobs. Jobs are also going to increase, but different kind of jobs. You have to reskill, upskill. So it's not like technology is going to kill the jobs. Technology is going to create more jobs, but different type of jobs. So jobs will be increasing, market size will be increasing, as you can see from Gartner. And one important thing that is going to, with this COVID again has accelerated, is 5G rollout. Because this 5G rollout is going to reshape the world. Right now, we are using in Pakistan 3G, 4G, sometimes 3G as well. Even in 4G, we have 1 gigabyte per second download, and the latency is 40 to 60 milliseconds right now. With 5G, it will be 20 gigabyte, 20x, and your latency will be reduced to 1 millisecond. So now just imagine, just think what kind of an opportunity is going to be created by this. It will create the industry revolution, manufacturing, IoTs, augmented reality, virtual reality, because now things are in front of you. You don't have to have any latency. So like I was reading the article that even robotic surgery can be happening from remote. Can you imagine healthcare transformation? So you can do the remote robotic surgery as well. So it will reshape the medicines, it will reshape the pharma, it will reshape the public sector, it will reshape the telco industry, because all the use cases that you cannot do today due to video streaming and whatever, now it will be possible. So it means for us, there's a huge opportunity ahead of us. What I was reading an article, it is going to be 13 trillion, 13.2 trillion out 5G type of a work in services business will be enhanced in the next, I would say 15 years, by 2035, they're saying. So it's a huge opportunity. It's a huge new space and a lot of opportunities. So for all of us. And I would say Pakistan IT industry, as I said, I'm humbled and proud to get this export award. But if I tell you the numbers are very, I cannot even say in front of any global audience that we are the largest exporter by this much revenue. It's not there. So, so now for the first time, I'm seeing focus on this sector, right? Like you guys, the funds and all Pakistan public sector, diaspora, everyone is saying that now if country needs to grow the exports, the textile exports can grow in a digit, single digit to maximum like 20%, 10%, right? So now everyone realizes that if if something can grow faster, it is an IT exports, right? So it can be 10x, 20x, whatever you can imagine. It is doable. It will take a lot of time because we have just started. I wish we could have started 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Every day we lose an opportunity. But now software technology zone is been shaping up. Policies are coming for exporters and focus is there. So once the focus is there, there will be results as well. Of course, we are focusing, but when country focus, country doing the marketing and branding of IT sector, that will change the game, and we will be one of the hopefully. And I'm very optimistic that our industry will get a lot of benefit from this. So the next, I just from a global industry, since you guys are all from most of you guys are from financial background, so you guys, Pakistan is not, unfortunately, we don't have too many such comparisons, but like global industry comparison, the similar companies like us doing the digital transformation, digital services, application engineering, solution engineering, platform engineering, all of these companies that are part of it, they are all listed companies. So you can see I've not picked up like the Wipros and Infosys and Accentures because it will be very squeak comparison. So these are the companies like you can see from Bangladesh, like even $12 million type of revenue company with 10% growth rate. What kind of a mindset people are having for technology from the growth perspective. So this is just a reference, but you can see what the multiples, because why people are thinking about it, because it's a growth. This is the only industry that can grow in times, like you guys are always like talking how many units the car factory will produce, how many cement will be produced or whatever, and you guys do the multiplier effect and say that, yeah, this will be the earning, right? It should be X. But in IT, it's a very different ballgame. It's not like number of units, it's not like number of cars, it's not like sugar or whatever, right? So it's very different dynamics. It cannot be think through the similar because it's a high growth industry. It's not like a single digit growth type of a story for any IT company if they perform well, if they have the good structure. And that's what, so I just wanted to highlight, since we had recently last week, we had the election. So we have a couple of new directors in our board as well. Omar Saeed has joined us as a board member. He's a very renowned businessman from service, and he's a very great entrepreneur, and we learn a lot from him, and I'm expecting. And Mr. Shabazadi has also joined to strengthen our from financial perspective. Everyone knows him. So Asif Juma, most of you guys also know him. He brings a lot of value as an independent director. Romana also brings a lot of value and diversity in our board. So we have alhamdulillah, I'm honored and kind, so humbled that we have a very good board that advises us and take us to the aggressive growth journey that what we are having in the next level. The most important thing is leadership team, right? And that's what services industry only run by people. It doesn't run by anything else. It's not run by a say like by any, you can say we are all professionals, right? So all of you, these guys, you can see they can run individually 50 to 100 million dollar business by themselves, right? That's the kind of a faith I have on them that they can scale. They can run itself One Systems Limited by themselves eventually, and that's what the goal is. That's what the growth journey is going to be, and they will take it forward. So that's my core asset, and that's why they are a partner in the company, as through, of course, our employee ownership scheme. That's you guys know about it, most of you. We are still employee owned company. We believe in that because in service industry there is no other way. We cannot retain if we don't share, right? So we believe in this, and this is our strong foundation, this strong pillar, and I'm very proud of my leadership team. And they have, of course, a great team underneath them as well, but we will need more faces, and we are aggressively hiring more and more leadership and management talent because we see a great opportunity ahead of us. Services portfolio, I will not spend too much time. You guys know that we are doing consulting, we are doing implementations for ERP, CRM, data, any complex project now we have the capability to take enterprise-wide. We don't, like if it is, we are working with $67 billion company today as well and providing services to them. Like their market caps in 60 million, 10 billion, sorry, I'm not sorry. In US, it's very normal, right? So in Pakistan, it's billion-dollar companies are rare. Even though as I was sharing, I was very disappointed to see the top exporter list of 50 from Pakistan, and none of them is more than 300 million or 350 million. So we are far off. Even like top exporter in Pakistan has not reached yet $1 billion. Last one, 50th is $60 million only. So that's I think that speaks of course the potential we have, and we can do a lot from this, right? So managed services, BPO, managed services are our long-term contracts, implementations we do, and we also do the BPO, which is again a significant business, like a business which gives us recurring nature, and it's a knowledge-based outsourcing and contact center. So all of these are growing, alhamdulillah. I think all of these services portfolio has a demand because, as I said in the beginning, what we have is really very, very focused. Cloud, you guys know it, right? Everyone knows it, right? What in cloud, everyone is focused one way or the other, that in at least abroad. In Pakistan, the realization is coming. State Bank is easing out, and slight adoption is going to happen eventually here. But I'm looking at global. Cloud is exponentially growing, and the cloud services are exponentially growing. We are very, very focused. We are investing a lot of money into it. Business Solutions, Salesforce, you might have seen, they have acquired Slack, which is just a team platform communication, $27.7 billion, just one collaboration tool, Slack, right? So Salesforce is exploding the growth. So we are partnered with Microsoft, you must have seen as well, their cloud revenue. So we are partnered with the right companies. Our alliances and our skill set is aligned. Data and AI, I don't have to speak, you guys all know it. What is the data is a strategic asset for your businesses, for every business. And it will not end. The technology can be anything, but data, AI, machine learning, it will explode because the storage is cheaper, cloud is cheaper. With the cloud and data combination, it's explosion, right? Digital commerce with this COVID, again, you guys might have seen the Thanksgiving sales and Thanksgiving numbers. If you look at a report, Cyber Mondays and Black Fridays, even like huge exponential growth. The brick and mortar was down, but it was 39% up. on even on Black Friday, forget about Cyber Monday. So e-commerce, so people have seen the shortcomings in their platform because it was a stress test on every website. Everybody was like after them at one time. So there's a lot of opportunity in e-commerce business, which we are tightly coupled and we are very much aligned. We have the skill set, we have the customers, we have references, and enterprise integrations, of course, and application intelligent automation with RPA, as I was saying, robotic process automation will nurture with 5G, IoT, and all of these things will be the next game changer when 5G is going to be rolled out. So the next is our global presence. I think this is our unique USP, I would say. This is the USP that what nobody in Pakistan has today. From a system integrator perspective, like what the work we do, there are other companies doing the other stuff, but global system integration perspective, because what we do, we are heavily investing in our target markets. Like we have the talent, we have the leadership, we have the sales, we have the pieces, we have entire growth engine, and we are heavily investing in all our target market, US especially, Germany. Now we've started in UK as well this year. So UK will be our focus next year, very strong focus. And I'm very optimistic. The reason being after Brexit, I see a huge opportunity. So we are investing here. And I'm sure the Germany will cover the DACH region, UK will cover the English-speaking European region, and US, of course, we are covering in any case. And Middle East and Pakistan will be the focus, sustainable business. The growth will come from this side of the business, right? Where this is where we are heavily investing. And we strengthening our partnership, our alliances to expand our growth and our leadership as well. So this is the key. We have now the next is basically second, like I was demand generation, we heavily focused, and I'm very optimistic on demand. I was not I've never been that optimistic about demand side before as I am today, because I believe with the COVID situation has accelerated everything, right? So which was not expected before. So now what we need to do, we need to build the capacity, right? So that's the other side of the puzzle, right? We need to build the capacity in systems and create the ecosystem in Pakistan so we have more and more talent readily available to all of us, not us, not just systems, but we need to work for the country. And of course, we are the beneficiaries for it. We are the largest beneficiaries for it. So we have set up the university, our own university with LUMS. We are doing, because as I said, communication is the key and English speaking is our advantage. We need to train our engineers to be softer skills. So we are investing a lot of money in German, since we are aggressively focusing. So we're training our people German language. We are partnering with the leading in training tools like Coursera and others to make sure that now as everybody is doing the remote courses, so we are buying all the remote trainings, because now it's earlier people wanted to go to US, Singapore, wherever, send me to the training, right? Now I'm saying doing the training here, even LUMS is remote, right? So we're doing remote training for LUMS. Even this is a global training we have set up, like where the people from around the world is doing the training remotely in LUMS even. So just the dynamics have completely changed. Technical certification we are sponsoring. We are training our own people. The core focus is mentorship and training and building the skill set. That's what we need for tomorrow. I think that's the key. Of course, capacity building, as I'm saying, this is the key. People focus, we are people-oriented company, and of course, customer centricity for delivery side. So adding locations now, again, COVID has opened up our minds, right? People are working from home. So we are opening the centers and franchises in various cities, small cities in all the provinces, right? So I can attract more and more talent from the small cities as well. So it should not be limited to Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad. We are going to be in most of the large cities, other large cities in Pakistan, where we can, I think the goal would be not the business, but the talent, right? Talent is the key. Expanding globally, now the world is open. Again, we are hiring. If I have a scarcity of resource, I'll pick up from the country where I'm not there today and will hire the resource on my payroll or from our Middle East operation and get that talent. So the market is not limited to me for Pakistan for supply. Supply is there globally. And the remote, as I'm saying, things have I've never thought about it 1 year ago. If you could have asked me, I've never thought about all these opportunities before. Never. Even remote working from home in Pakistan is something we just question ourselves. Why productivity is down? I need my people in my office, right? This is our culture, right? In US, when I was there, we were all working at least once a week remotely, but now things have changed. So you need to quickly adopt it. So we are attracting global talent. We are collaborating with, as I said, Punjab Skill Development Fund program, and fresh graduate. We are hiring aggressively. I think whatever fresh these universities can produce, I'm sure we will be able to hire and recruit on day one if the quality is there. Numbers doesn't matter now. So it's not a matter of hiring 100 fresh graduate or 1,000. If there are 1,000 available, we'll hire 1,000. But they need to be, of course, of quality. So I'm not like tying any numbers to a graduate. If there are good, as many as we can hire, we will hire without any cap, right? So key financial highlights. I will not invest too much time on financial. You guys have done the research and KSB has published the report, but you can see, Alhamdulillah, you have seen the other regional companies are growing in single digits, 10, 20, 15, 10%, 8%, 3%, 4%. Alhamdulillah, we are growing 33% because our number is very small, right? So we're nowhere, right, in the global scheme of things. So of course, the 33% is not big deal. Of course, we have to do more than that. I think that's a potential. That's what I'm explaining. So numbers are too small. So of course, we can keep growing at that pace. That's not something which I should be happy about it, right? So so this is a revenue summary that what we have. We have majority of our businesses. I shared my strategy, but revenue is from professional services and also the BPO side of the business. We do both. Our customer stratification is something which we feel that we are very well balanced. So it's not like if one customer goes tomorrow, I'll be out of market. So people ask this question, all the analysts ask this question, hey, one project will end, what will you do, right? So I said, fine, one project will go and we will, ideally our job is to not lose the customer. Project can end, but the customer should remain with us, even if it is a small percentage, because customer is the key, because everybody will invest in it, right? So I think we will keep growing the customer base, we'll keep growing our exports. It doesn't mean that we will not work in Pakistan. Pakistan, as the digital opportunities emerge, we will be, again, one of the largest beneficiary of doing the large scale projects in Pakistan public sector. We are heavily entrenched with the telco industry in Pakistan. We are heavily entrenched with the banking and insurance industry in Pakistan, because that's our grassroots and that's our home ground to train our people and to nurture our talent and take to the next level. So Pakistan will be always our forte for a training purposes, for a recruitment purposes, from branding perspective, and we will continue to grow that way. But export is the target where we make money, right? So the next is you guys, again, we have disclosed System Ventures. Now we have the cash in our balance sheet. You guys also are, most of you guys are from financial background. So of course, I cannot have idle cash sitting in bank, and we can, when we can achieve the 30-odd% growth from that cash, right? So we are aggressively exploring, nothing is concrete, aggressively exploring on investing in mature startups, not like just a mature startup where they have proven that they have some revenue, some model, and with our mentorship, with our presence, and with our involvement, we can take them to the next level. That's what we are seeing. We can create a multiplier effect. So we will we'll build a structure next year for this company, and we'll be aggressively looking, exploring at least, not doing the investment just for the sake of investment, but if there are good opportunities, we will not shy away from it. And acquisition is, of course, on the card. I have been sharing this in my annual reports as well, and half yearly as well. We will look for those opportunities where companies doing export out of Pakistan, unique skill set, because we will have to address the supply side issue as well when there is a growth. And since we are opening up in UK, so we'll look for UK skill-based companies. So if we can find something, so we can open up the UK in a big way versus like the organic way. So there is organic, inorganic mix. We'll be investing. Or a specialized product or service if some company, because we have the accelerator and product, but we are not product company by just saying that we are product, we are services. Largely services with our accelerators, products, innovation that comes under our, where we open the door with those things and we grow services business. So we will look for those options. So the last slide is OneLoad. OneLoad is our subsidiary. You guys, most of you guys again know about it. You guys will have a Raj at the end of the day, so he will explain more in detail. I will just say briefly, as you guys know, financial platform and fintech industry is growing as well. Even in US, about greater than 50%, about 61% to be precise, out of $225 trillion is digital, right? So digital payments, everything is growing like digital payments are growing very rapidly, and fintech will disrupt the world, and especially in Pakistan. E-commerce, you guys know, is nowhere near, right? So e-commerce or any financial services, right, is nowhere there because we have a payment limitation, we have last mile delivery issues, we have logistic issues. So even e-commerce is good. We will not be able to scale until we address these core fundamental issues of last mile and payments, right? So we have EMI license. We have a great leader in form of Mohammad Yar Raj. You will listen and you will admire him. He's great visionary. He has conceived this product along with us. We have future plans to increase our retailer base. We have the money now from IFC. We have not yet, because of COVID, we were like a little bit of small pause, I would say, like in aggressively spending money because of retailers can go up and down, close. So now we will hopefully, inshallah, the things will be normalized and we will be expanding our retailer, we'll expanding our throughput, and I see this will be the game changer. Yeah, I know we have been patient for this, and we have to remain patient for this because we see a big thing coming out of this, inshallah, in the near future, I would say. So that's I took my 30 odd minutes as promised, and tried to cover as much as I can. But of course, I am open for any question that you guys have. Systems, non-systems, Pakistan, global IT, the forum is open. I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Asif Saab. The format for questions is that please write your questions on chat and I'll read it to Asif Saab. And before that, I'll kick off. So this was an extremely interesting presentation. Certainly you're in the middle of this big storm, which is supporting you, so massive tailwinds. As you said, that COVID has changed the landscape. And we saw that in our business with KTrade, after the lockdown, our numbers went up massively. Like we used to get 1,000 registration per month, and we started getting that per day. So it's a global phenomenon, and it's now recorded. So when you look at your company, the last 5 years, as you showed in that chart, you have done 33% revenue growth, 47% earnings growth, and that was all organic without any M&A. Do you think the next 5 years will be better than the last 5 years?
If you ask me today from a technologist by heart perspective, yes, it will be. No doubt about that. It will be exponentially better, not just better, right? I've given you the reason, right? 5G is on the card. This COVID has changed the mindset of people. From the data center perspective, cloud has reshaped the world. Data and social media has changed the world. Social listening, personalization, loyalty with the brand, everything is customer centric now. Everything is on technology. So, and more as country like Pakistan even have a footprint of digital, 50 to 60% people have the broad phones, right? And the broadband is expanding. You can see our third world country expansion, and you can imagine what is happening when you have 5Gs and the network speeds are like I was sharing 1 millisecond of latency. You can imagine what kind of a world we are going to live in, right? So everything will be dependent on hyper automation, and every company is asking now, how can I do my zero touch operation? This is the key question. Give me the zero touch operation and hyper automation. how can I increase my productivity, efficiency through my digital or digital labor now, right? So we name it digital labor. Now people are not talking about SLA. SLA in our language means service level agreements, right? Like we sign up for SLAs. Now people are saying, give me XLAs. XLAs means experience. Experience. Give me your experience. We will measure you on the experience based, not service experience level agreement, not the service level. So norm has changed. Things are changing. So how will people? So scarcity of people will be in these technologies will be immense. So that's what I'm saying. This is the right time for a country like we're late. Sorry, we're late. As a country, we are late for sure. We should have been doing what we are thinking today 20 years ago. Why we have not built the capacity? What is stopping us to create that kind of a supply? If you start thinking today, it will take time, right? So of course we can grow at 30, 40, 50, 100%, but in order to grow 10x, you need that supply. And we now somehow have to expedite every freaking thing that what we have on our card, right? And everybody needs to push because demand will be there. And we do not want to be in the situation. We would be very unlucky as a country if we would have been in a situation where there is an opportunity knocking on the door and you don't have the supply. So we are not there yet, but we could be. It's because opportunity size is big, right? So I think I hope people. I alone, of course, but we all need to do it, right? So we are pushing. Of course, we need your help, voice. I think Farooq, and there are a lot of people are there as well. Hopefully. I think the government is taking it very seriously, and hopefully they will do their part as well.
No, absolutely. And what was striking for me, and one of the reasons why I asked this question is that revenue growth, 47% earnings growth. But next 5 years, if I look at consensus numbers, everybody is forecasting 15 to 20, 25 at best. I think even our numbers are 30% revenue growth. So they are saying that the next 5 years will actually be slower, which, and then in my world of financial markets, and that just means mispricing. So that for me, the answer was very interesting. There are a lot of questions which are coming up about the supply side, which you talked about in terms of education, in terms of training. You mentioned this program which you have started with LUMS. It has almost started this LUMS versus IBA debate, which we always have. So there's a question that, can you give some more details about this? That is this just a training program for your own employees, or is it for anybody else who can also come? Do you plan to do something similar with IBA? And if I link another question with that, there's a question that, are you doing anything on AI? And can you talk something about that?
Definitely. I think, as I said, we will explore all options, whether it's GIK to IBA to LUMS versus we just started this year for our own people, right? So it's not for outside, but with the Parvaz platform, it's for outside. That's what I'm working with Punjab Skill Development Fund program, where I'm trying to build the capacity of IT industry. That's for IT industry. We are spending, it's a public-private partnership. System is spending money in creating the ecosystem, right? So it's a public-private partnership. But so we are working on multiple fronts. So training and skill set creation, and I'm working with multiple universities and trying to advise them on the curriculum and so on and so forth. So we get a good talent out of the college. As I said, this is the key. Funnel should be bigger and bigger, right? Funnel cannot be like next 5 years should be the game changer. So funnel needs to expand. AI, of course, I shown you in my presentation, we have been doing since last few years now, and we have one of the largest competency in Pakistan for AI and machine learning and data science. Now I'm thinking to build AR and augmented reality, virtual reality, and IoT type of skill set and be ready for 5G innovation, right? So even blockchain is far away. I think there are not so many use cases. So I would just, we are not investing right now, but we will invest on these things for sure.
Thank you. And education is really important. We at KSB also launched something called KSB Varsity, an online MOOC for educating our clients. on how to invest. So, what you're saying, it totally resonates. There's another question from Rob Skipper, and he's asking that, can you talk about organic growth? How much capacity do you have to grow? And is finding talent hard? Is that a constraint for your growth?
Not now for sure. As I said, like if I need to grow 10x from here, yes, there will be a constraint if I need to do it today, right? But growing at anywhere between like whatever percentage you can say from 10 to 200%, it will not be an issue, right? But yeah, if you want to grow very fast, then it could be an issue. But I think it's not like as you asked the question, we need to build for the future, right? We need to build for the future, and future is now, right? So we don't feel that constraint, and this is what I said, that right now. But if I get like X multiplier opportunities, like we need, say for example, 5,000 people at once, or 1,000 people, 2,000 people at once, and you need data people and AI people and smart people, they're not there. So of course, if these kind of opportunities come, which I'm very positive it will come one day, and that can take us from 1 to 2x, right, or 3x, right? But that's not there yet, but I see a potential. So we need to be ready for that for the future, but it's not constraining right now.
Follow-up from
But it
Rob.
could be a challenge. It could be a challenge. That's why we are preparing for it, right? That's why we need to build our own training programs. That's what, because any risk, and because we have to see big, right? So we're not just sticking ourselves to this chart what we showed you, right? So we have to think big and beyond our limits, right? So we are preparing for it, and if we continue that way, I think we will be able to do it. But I think we need to, more importantly for me, I think to create the ecosystem in Pakistan. I think that's the key, because this will help our country and will help our young generation, and we will be able to generate employment. I think that's motivates my team and myself and our leadership, that how we bring, at least this is what we can do. God has given us opportunity, so we can create some sort of employment opportunities for our young generation. If it is not IT, BPO, call center, services, because services export is the key. So it's not like just you need AI engineers. You can do a data entry operator, you can have a call center agents, you can have a help desk, there are multiple avenues, and I'm working on all the avenues, because we need to hire BComs, we need to hire data scientists and PhDs as well. So let's provide an opportunity to everyone who is willing, who can read English at least, if not speak. So that's the kind of mindset that I'm going after.
So a lot of employment generation, a lot of training, and even training languages. So that's
at least this we need to give back to our country, right? We can't do much, absolutely, but at least we all have to try for that, right?
There's a follow-up question from Rob, and I'll just club something in that, so rephrase it. You mentioned about the use of cash and expansion in UK and other geographies. In terms of structure, will it be like a simple structure, or like you have a holding company in the US, VisionNet? Will you simplify this, and secondly, he's asking any possibility of a US listing?
Simplify structure is very simple. Our structure is very clean and simple. You guys have seen we are very transparent, right? And everything from Europe we expand. US makes sense, right? Because it's a US companies, and we can use all the logos of US customers, right? So structuring from US, even in Saudi Arabia, you guys know it, but you would be. I'm like, if Pakistani company setting up in Saudi versus US company setting up in Saudi is very different. You get a very different mindset and very different ball game. So we are setting up from that way, like we have a US structure, and we get all the offshore work in Pakistan. That's what we are interested in, right? That we want to grow export, and we want to. So our structure is simple. The next question that you ask from acquisition, right? So yes. Acquisition, I think anywhere. As I said, I have given my wherever it makes sense, like either supply side acquisition or demand side acquisition. or a specialized skill set, right? Like specialized means either product or services. So these are the three criteria we are looking at. We have narrowed down our criteria. We are putting the companies in it, and we will shortlist some, and hopefully we will have something. If not, then still the organic growth is there. It's not like we are not going to throw away the money on something which doesn't make sense. If there is, we'll keep trying, we'll keep exploring, and hopefully we'll find something. But if not, then we'll continue the way we are continuing, right? So nobody's stopping us to grow. The world is open for us. The scope now, the world is open for us. It's not like Africa we have not touched, Saudi we have not touched. It's like it's as I said, like it's on us now, right, to take that journey and take that risk. We have uh, we have the team, we have finance, we have the financial muscle. It's up to us to take it to the next level. As I said, that's what now the world is open, right? So markets
Absolutely.
are there.
The opportunity set is very big for you, for sure. We have 10 minutes left, and there's a lot of questions. So I'll might have to skip a few questions and club a few others. There's a question that you mentioned that there's more offsite and less on-site going forward. So this should be margin accretive for you. And there's another question that, do you give any targets for revenue growth and margins? Any guidance for the long term?
March, I think long guidance, I would rather avoid this because that's your job to give the guidance, right? So I would say, yes, more, of course, it's very clear, like with COVID, remote work, the offshoring is going to increase, outsourcing is going to increase. And you know that it's with the last administration in US, H1 restrictions and H1 visas and all of these prevailing wage and all the things have pushed people to think beyond the normal stuff. So we are geared for that. So we have the infrastructure and systems. We have our own campus. We are building. So infrastructure wise, solid. So offshore will definitely come. And when there is an offshore business, you guys know the margins are. Of course, that's my segment analysis. If you open up for any 5 years. For export business, our margin is like X, and our Pakistan and business is Y, right? And it's a significant difference. And it's a part of the strategy as well. As I said, Pakistan is important, but for the supply side, creation of people, right? And the margins and revenues and comes from export. That's it's very clear in the books, right?
Yes. So the shift towards greater exports is margin accretive for you. Again, I'm combining a few questions, and there's a question which I think is close to my heart as well. And I had that question that if I look at Systems, it's the oldest software company, and you've alluded to that we've missed a lot of time. We, as in Pakistan, and Tata Consulting was formed in 1967, and now I think it's the largest. It's bigger than Accenture. It's 140 billion market cap, if not more now. Where did we go wrong compared to India? What were the challenges? And do you think those hurdles are no longer there? Or at least, do you think that for Systems, do you think now you can deal with those challenges which prevented the kind of growth which could have in the past?
I think it's a very interesting question. And I think people compare with India, of course. But I think, yeah, we missed the boat on multiple occasions. I think our stigma of being Pakistan with perception outside, reality inside, okay? So perception, I don't have to say that, right? In last 20 odd years, our perception was not good, right? As a country, our image. And in services business or any export business, when you are trading with the foreign companies for exports, I think this matters the most, right? So that has definitely put a dent on our, as a Pakistan, as a brand, was a challenge. It's improved a lot, and it is further can improve, but travel advisory, I think you guys know it's travel advisory since how long? At least from North America, right? People are not willing to travel freely. And do we have the infrastructure to even host them? Probably not the best of infrastructure either. We have not thought about it. So there are many challenges, and education. what we are thinking today, we should have thought about 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And we see the India growing, right? Why we were not reacting? You guys can ask the question. So, but of course, demand side was an issue because of country and perception outside. Reality is different, but reality was sometimes very painful as well, inside as well. It's like written. So, so the perception, the marketing, branding, we need to invest more and more on our country marketing branding. This is my demand on every forum, that we need to spend a lot of money on Pakistan as an IT branding, because Pakistan, you know that from a freelancer perspective, we are fourth on the index. World Economic Forum report says very categorically, Pakistan is the most cost-effective destination for IT outsourcing in the world. I'm not saying is the most, number one, right? So when you are number one in your cost effectiveness, who is stopping you? So I think these are the challenges. Of course, travel advisory was one of the big one. Travel restriction, no airlines coming here directly. It's all of these challenges are immense when you talk about the services growth, because services, people want to meet you, right? People want to see your data center. People want to visit your security, that you is my data is protected, and all of this stuff. And they do the risk audits. So when you go to the bigger companies for a bigger jobs, their risk department refuses, because Pakistan is in orange list, and few companies is in orange, few companies in red. They're smaller companies, they're in green. So our growth is smaller as well as compared to the India. And you can see in people go to India for a fashion now, they go and party over there, right? So it's very different ballgame, right? So
no, thank you. And I totally agree. I think you have a fascinating opportunity ahead of you for changing that, and the initiatives which you are doing in terms of training people, in terms of educating people, hiring people, clearly are investing in the long term in all of these skill sets, which can help us utilize the talent which we have, which is high population based. And as you said, Pakistan has been highlighted as a place for which is most competitive in terms of tech talent. And COVID helps you clearly, because now nobody can go and party in India as well. So India has lost that advantage which they had. So thanks to the irony of COVID. So all the power to you. Thank you so much for this presentation. And as you said, and I repeat to you that, I think your future should be much brighter than your past, which already is very good, as you show in that chart. So thank you for putting that chart up as well, which I think is extremely impressive.